Hey everyone, I'm Yvette Lloyd. Welcome back for another episode. I haven't done a solo episode in so long, and I apologize for the delay. I have been in this motion of growth. Um, this transition has been really tough for me because I'm finding myself growing mentally. And usually, when you're in the middle of transition and growing mentally, you start to see things different, hear things different, be around different types of people, and just find your whole life just shifting. And a lot of times, when you in that shift, it's very uncomfortable. And when it's uncomfortable, that's when you know it's a good thing too, at the same time, because it's like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You helping me grow. You helping me reach the level of things that I've prayed for. And I pray for a lot of things, and a lot of things that I have prayed for has come to life. However, it's a lot of things that I had to go through in the transition of me to making it my reality. And I've been examining a lot of things lately when it comes to people and the mindset that they have, and the illusion that they see um in their own eyes into other people's lives. And we need to start figuring out how we're going to separate the real from the fake at this point. People need to grow up in so many ways, and it's still having a mindset of your younger version of yourself, still holding on to trauma, still letting people have so much hold towards you, when you need to move forward, you need to remove yourself, you need to grow, you need to heal, you need a therapist, you need to go on vacations more. It's a lot of things that you need to do for you. And a lot of people really don't understand how much you, as your whole self, individual self, is so important. And lately, I've been learning how important Yvette is, and how dope Yvette is, and how educated Yvette is, how Yvette is like growing so much, even of the things that I experienced, and how people have hurt me in the past when I'm not letting it take a hold of me and dictate who I am, and me believing the words that they say and predicting them onto me, when in reality that's how a lot of times people feel about themselves. So it's more or less minding your business and staying in your business and figuring out things for yourself. And I always want to have some real raw, rooted and purpose into my conversations that I have with a lot of my podcast listeners, because I've even had people that want to change me of who I am or how I look on social media, and giving me examples of other people. Okay, they're doing this way. Maybe you should do yours this way, or maybe you should do this way. I don't want to do nothing like anybody else. And I've been raised like that. My mom always say stand in your own true self. And that's where I'm at. I want people to accept me for who I am, accept me for how I look, accept me for a lot of things of how God created me. And a lot of times we have to realize, when people don't accept that, they're not the people for you. You have to separate yourself from things that doesn't define who you are. And you always have to elevate mentally and not have the mindset that God didn't give you to have when it comes to his children. And so a lot of times I'm like, dang, like, is it me? Why do I have this mindset? Because sometimes people will trick you into thinking that you're wrong for the way you're thinking about you in certain ways. And when you have conversations with people, when you are in that process, they have to have been through it. They have to have more than you, or on the same level as you mentally, when it comes to decision making of conversations to educate you and make you feel better about you. You don't want people around you that will dim your light then or dim your light in the future. They have to have a future ahead of them just as much as you have a future going forward as well. But if they don't have that mindset and they don't have that future that you are reaching for and going to have, that's not the conversation you need to have with these people. And we always have to know that. And it's so crazy because one of my friends, um, you know, he's so welcoming to people, and I had to bring him to reality himself. Okay, you are in this position and this person is in your life and they came into your life. They're not where you're at right now. However, they're not even going towards to where you at right now. They're still in a position um where it's, I don't want to say beneath you and make it sound mean, but technically they're beneath him at this moment. And a lot of times when people hasn't, if people haven't went through the trials and tribulations that you went through of you elevating your life, by dealing with people, staff, taking losses, failing at something, if a person hasn't experienced that yet, and then they're in your life and you have experienced it already, but you want them to help them get to where they need to go, I feel like personally that it's taking them away from things that they need to appreciate. A lot of times we try to save people from their storm when they need to experience the storm to humble them into the life that God wants them to walk into. And I found myself saving people from their storm so they won't experience it. And from them not experiencing it, they turned on me because I saved them from the reality. And a lot of times we have to stop saving people from their reality because they have to go through it. We went through it, so why they can't go through it either? And it's a part of tough love too at the same time. And sometimes it may even be a person that you really love and care about and you don't want to see them go through it, but a lot of times people have to. That creates character. That creates a better mindset in where a person needs to go in life. And if you don't experience it and if you don't let them experience it, all they gonna do is treat you like crap at the end of the day, act like you never done nothing. They're going to betray you. They're not going to understand what you're saying to them. You're gonna come off as a hater to them or everything. So we cannot always save people from things that where they supposed to go. And this conversation has been so heavy on my heart, and I was just trying to figure out how I was going to articulate my words so that I could have these conversations with you guys, because we've been through a lot as business owners, and it's hard for us business owners to relate to a certain type of people because we they're not our village. But when we find our village and when we find somebody that really understands us and been through the things we do, it's like gospel. Like it's like an amazing conversation to have, and you be like, yes, oh my God. And like that's like the best feeling ever. And I just love things like that. And like this episode is really not like the faint of heart, or it's for those who are ready to grow, heal, and build something real, that some things that just last, you know what I'm saying? And I also want to talk about why 80% of people won't make it. And also, more importantly, how do you be a part of that 20% that does make it, you know? And it really takes the mindset and it takes the faith and having a relationship with God, and actually just doing different things. And let's be honest, y'all, it's too many people that are out here chasing the look of success, and instead of actually doing the work that leads to real success. And those people that are doing a real success, we are literally the underdogs. because we're not looking it. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I do want to tell y'all, just keep going, keep trying, keep hustling. Like sometimes we won't see nothing till 5 to 10 years later, or maybe plus, and then we gonna start seeing everything just flourish. We gonna have a whole garden of flowers, receiving our flowers and seeing the success and everything that we really truly deserve. And these people, they're trying to impress people that aren't even thinking about them. They don't even care. You know, wearing designer to cover up low self-esteem, following the everyday trend brand, every influencer, every boss babe, every alpha male, without even realizing that you are losing your identity of trying to be someone else that you're not. And that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times we look up, I ain't even gonna say we, those people look up to these individuals and not realizing that you admire a person that don't even love themselves. You admire a person that's trying to impress the next person when you are supposed to be that person. You supposed to be that one that's thriving and going and doing amazing things, being passionate, being loving, being genuine, being caring, giving people the proper services that you provide, being real with them, not even straggling them along and not really helping them get to where they got to go. And if you listen to certain conversations of people, they really haven't even reached the success yet that they talk about. So you have to really see who is really for the people and not for the influence and for the look and for the materialistic things and for just showing off things that they have, and it really doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? And we are in a generation of comparison a lot. And I want you to understand you cannot compare yourself to another person. God created you to who you are. God only made one version of you. Once you realize that and walk in that and understand that and just be you, you will understand how really dope you are and how really dope you can be. And not comparison to real life, but comparison to the fictional characters on social media, the filters, the edits, the highlight reels, different things like that. You just have to be you all the time. No lies. Sometimes I do use a filter. I ain't gonna lie. I might have a little zit or something that I really just don't want out there like that. But on the most of the percentage, I could say 99% of the time, besides me using a filter, it's all me. And I just don't care about what anyone think. The right people is going to support me, hear me, understand me, love me, and it's going to inspire them at the end of the day. That's my goal. I want people to feel good about themselves. I want people to love themselves. I want people to be successful. I want to see everybody win. That's just my goal. I need them to win at all times. And when you come to comparing their day to day, the grind of someone else's big moment, but there's a truth to it. It always is. Silence, the success in silent is something in a whole different level. Legacy don't look like Gucci belt. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't look like Birkin bag. It doesn't look like a Lamborghini. It doesn't look like a Mercedes. That's not legacy at all. And peace doesn't post on the gram every day. It doesn't. It's people with lower followers that are like extremely successful and they are doing amazing and thriving. You just have to create peace for yourself, love for yourself, not attention. You don't want a person selling the lifestyle. You want the person to sell what's going to make you better within of who you are. And That is so important. So I really want to talk about like what really matters. Legacy is what lives are after when you're gone. It's not just money, it's the mindset. It's what you teach your children, it's the wisdom that you pass down, it's the healing that you create in your bloodline. Me personally, I don't have kids yet, but I have nieces and nephews, and I want them to thrive. I want them to have it all because they see me work hard. They love what I do. They admire what I do. They come to auntie about everything. I'm that girl. I'm that auntie. And I'm going to continue to be that auntie. I'm that sister. I'm that cousin. I'm everything. And for me to know that, I'm going to continue to educate myself. I'm going to continue to leave a legacy. Going to continue to be me so they can see that me, being real, being my authentic self, that's the legacy. And I want them to understand that they don't need approval from anybody for them to actually show up the way they want to show up of being themselves. And that's where that success is going to come. That's when they're going to feel comfortable into walking into rooms and comfortable of knowing who they are, because I don't want nobody dimming my light, and I'd be damned if somebody try to dim theirs. And that comes with like financial education, investment decisions, and even being unapologetic of yourself. I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? And when you stop caring what other people think, and when you start making smart money moves, and when you begin to educate yourself and your family daily, that's when you're winning. Because if my village ain't winning, something ain't right. And right now my village is winning, and I love to see it. And I love that we could collaborate with each other and just make things happen. That's all I be wanting to do. I be sitting chilling, minding my own business, and just be trying to like just be better at everything that I do. I'm trying to continue to keep my health good, my skin looking nice, traveling the world and making an amazing investments, making better financial decisions, sitting in rooms where I'm supposed to be, where people can help me become a better version of myself. You know, people that's just been there before and still going there, you know, and a call to grow up emotionally and spiritually is just so important. And that's when like you talk about the dysfunction, you talk about the toxic behaviors that you could come across and you see from other people. And some of y'all think the toxic is cute, and it really isn't. It's not cute at all. And for you to like the toxic, to listen to the toxic and digest the toxic, it shows who you are, and that spirit hasn't left you yet. You know what I'm saying? That spirit has to leave you for you to have the attraction of that. Sometimes it's okay to hear because it will teach you a lesson, but you have to let it teach you a lesson on who not to be instead of becoming it. And you always have to be that, and being loud, dramatic, and always cutting people off every week. And that's not healing. That's avoiding. You're avoiding things, and you're trying to block a person for actually seeing you for who you are. Silence is golden. So if you're silent and you actually listening to a person talk, it speaks a lot. They tell you a lot about themselves. And talking over someone isn't going to help you to actually understand exactly what they are saying or trying to say, because people say little side comments. It could be your friends, it could be your family, it could be a person that you just met, or a person associate or anything. People say side comments on how they really feel about you. You just really got to listen and not get upset, and be emotionally intelligent and not take it personal, because a lot of personal issues that people have towards you is personal to them of the issues that they're having with themselves. It's none of your business. It has nothing to do with you. And we need to normalize emotional intelligence. We need to normalize peace, normalize education, normalize therapy, growth, forgiveness, and self-love. That's normal. And once we continue to normalize that and show that and be that, we are a very small percentage right now. We that 20%, but that other percentage, they got to catch up. But you got to be okay with being that 20% because being that 20% is going to be the test of your strength, your character, and who you really are because you could easily be misled back into that 80% of people that are lost. They're completely lost. Everybody think they right. Everybody don't want to hold accountability. Everybody don't want to hear what somebody got to say or try to help them elevate or guide them or coach them and tell them right from wrong. A lot of people just don't want to hear it. They life got to hit them. But that's what I'm saying. Like the backtrack, we cannot save everyone from their storm. That's their storm. We've been through ours already. We said what we said, we did what we could do, but now it's time for us to continue on with ourselves. We have to leave it behind because carrying a person, that's all that's going to do is just drain us. It's going to take us away from us. It's going to take us away from the individuals that are ready, that really want it, that really want to thrive, that really want to leave a legacy, really be financially stable, really be mentally stable, really have emotional intelligence and exactly know where they want to go and be in life. And you know what's so cool is drinking water, minding your business, loving your body, taking care of your mental health, walking in your purpose, and making investments that will pay your bills and not just for your ego. It is so important, y'all. I'm telling you, and it makes you feel good. And I really hope that you guys take heed into this episode because it's it's so it's so important. It's important to me. And I really had to figure out how was I going to talk about this because I don't want people to feel less of themselves or feel like it's an attack. But at the same time, it's a reality check. It's it's a sickness that we constantly see on the time on a daily basis. So today I challenge you to stop chasing the image of success. Stop trying to be her, him, or them. Be you. It feels so good. It really do. Being you is amazing. Be the version of you who wakes up and choose purpose over popularity. Be the parent who educates their children about wealth, health, and love. Love is so important. I realize so much as I get older, when I hear people talk about the things of trauma that they've been through in their childhood and just different things like that. And I was blessed. I didn't go through things as a child. My mom kept me safe from that. My mom loved me. I was raised in a house of love. And from my mom and her three sisters, I was loved by them as well. My cousins, I was loved by them, their children. It was like we had our own village, our own little family of us all just loving each other and being there for each other and not having um toxic behavior going on. It may be something that'll happen, like something small, but we'll love and make up with each other and start talking again or even express ourselves. But we move forward and it's peaceful. You know what I'm saying? And just me being raised, having both grandparents on my mom's and my dad's side, and I had relationships with all four of them that we were like really close. I was a grandpa's girl on both sides and it brought so much love, and kids need to even know that today. Everyone's so busy trying to chase that image and not even spend time with their kids. They parent is a tablet. You know that the tablet is raising your kids, YouTube raising your kids, cartoons raising your kids, Roblox raising your kids, streaming on Twitch raising your kids. Watching these video games, watching another person play a video game is raising your kids. Let your kids see you be great. Let your kids see you be you, walk in your own shoes of life instead of you being that kid mentally following another kid that's mentally messed up and another kid that ain't healed and another kid that's toxic. Even though you an adult, you still have a kid mindset and you can't be that way. It got to be times when you want to grow up and you want to be you. You have to. And being a version of you and wakes up and just choose that, man, choose that purpose. Dog, listen, it's the best feeling ever. And because real success isn't loud. It's not loud at all. It's steady, it's strategic, and it's sacred. And it's a beautiful feeling. And I really hope this inspired someone and gave them a different version of life, a different view of themselves, um, create them to build more character for themselves and understand it's okay to be you. It's okay. Take the mask off, put it in the dumpster, throw it away. Just throw it away and just continue to be you. I promise everything may shift. You may think everybody falling off, don't like you no more, or whatever the case may be. It's because they like that character that you were bringing on. Everybody is actors and actress. Everybody is Hollywood. They done created this a whole life journey and they under the drama, the horror, the fiction, the sci-fi, they under all these different genres and you need to just be in your own and be yourself and walk in your purpose and be who God created you to be and understand that. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Life Hurt Podcast. Make sure that you listen on YouTube and subscribe, and also listen on all major platforms. I really appreciate you all for your trust. I appreciate you for your support, and I pray that this episode helps someone thrive and be you.